Hi there, and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. This week's discussion topics, as always, include anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, and inequality in America and corruption. So that pretty much covers it all. So if you want to bring up some topics that I don't have planned, that would be absolutely okay because I can't keep up. There's just too much going on. The closer we get to the election, the more that seems to be happening exponentially. I hate to say it, but anyway, so if you're watching, please say hi. The show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind, but also to serve as an educational tool for white America to learn the truth about systemic racism. And it's not pretty, but it's still the truth. And I think we all need to start taking racial responsibility. It doesn't mean you have to feel guilty. It doesn't mean you have to put your heart and soul into, the cause. It means you have to educate yourself and become aware. Just become aware and be determined to continue learning throughout your life. And understand it's going to be a humbling. It's kind of humbling. You didn't do it, but now that we're here, it'd be really nice if we all started giving a shit about our fellow humans. All right. Little equity never hurt anybody. So please say hi if you're watching. I'm going to start with some announcements. I wanted to thank everyone who's been sending me important breaking news because unfortunately I can't keep up. I'm sure nobody else can either. And like I said, as we get closer and closer, this election, a lot of folks might not know this. Maybe they do. They think, oh, it's just another vote, and a lot of people want to get rid of Trump and all that. But what they don't quite get, or maybe they do, is that this isn't just another vote. Sadly, it is, we're in late stage democracy. And I didn't realize just how late, but you know what? Surprise, surprise. What happens to late stage democracy? It either turns to become more humanistic and socialized, not like the countries of Sweden, Denmark, Norway. No, not socialist, but social programs, which we've always had and enjoyed. Do you like your library? Do you like your hospital? Do you like your roads and streets? Then you too. Do you like your Social Security? We have social programs in here. It doesn't mean we're socialists. But what's going on is the Trump and his administration and his followers have circumvented the Constitution in every place possible. And a lot of the things that a lot of us might have thought were possibly laws were just traditions. So there's no way to get, it's not like the police can arrest him or stop him. These were traditions, and traditions aren't, they're kind of de facto rather than de jure, and it's kind of a mess. So it's getting a little scary out there. So we got to stick together. So thank you for sending me important breaking news. If you ever feel like you think something is not being shown in the media and you want me to set it out there, I will do that. There is where you can send it. I'm on Instagram under angry_soccer mom, and I'm on Twitter at Imagine No Hate. I have this YouTube channel as well as I have a page. Well, actually, I have a few things. I have a page on Facebook. Dare I speak the words Facebook? I have a page on Facebook, and I have an educational group as well. So those are two of my other platforms. And I'd love you to jump on in. The number to call in, if you care to call in today, which is absolutely fine. I'm not doing a rant today, is 3. Actually, I'll put that right in there. Just let me get through the intros and you can call in. I'm trying to limit people to just a few minutes because I've been told that I should do this. So here's the number if you want to call in. We might get some trolls, but hey, we can handle it. And the final presidential debate is tomorrow in Nashville. And my goal was to do another chat party on it, but it turns out I can't. I have a scheduling conflict. So sorry about that. But you know what? I've loved the chat parties that I have had. People are wonderful. It's so nice to watch with people who are like-minded and who care about our dwindling, crumbling democratic republic or oligarchy, or, well, heck, let's be real. We may be more of a dictatorship right now, but anyway, thanks for being here. If you're watching, please don't hesitate to say hello. Tonight's topics I have prepared are saying goodbye to local restaurants. It's a really short one. Cutting services to those in need. That's just out. There's some serious stuff going on having to do with Trump's tantruming over, I mean, he's got to be losing it. If he loses this election, he knows he's going to be, I mean, as my friend Don put it, DC District Attorney and Southern New York District Attorney are ready to pounce, have the paperwork already filled out, and are ready to take action the minute he is no longer in office. And I'm sure he's painfully aware of this. So he's terrified, and he's going to go to any extremes. As a behavioralist, we all know he's going to be, exponentially, his behavior will be getting worse and worse, which is really scary because it's pretty damn bad to begin with. So I have, he's made some threats, and Robert Reich is speaking about them. So I'll read a little bit to you and see what you think about it. Police intimidation and the polls. Pretty scary. Undermining democracy with voter suppression. I cannot say enough about it. We, minus, basically the Ku Klux Klan lynching people as they dare to want to make their vote. It's getting ugly. It's getting really ugly. And then I want to talk about Ice Cube's activism. Now, I will not personally talk about him because if you're new to this kind of chat about systemic racism, as a white person, it is inappropriate and not my place. It's not my lane to say to the world what I think about, what is best for Black folks in America, brown folks, Indigenous people, people of mixed heritage. That's not my place as a person who happens to be born into being a member of what is historically and presently considered, the people who marginalize. It's not on purpose. We didn't set it up. Nails and Glitter, welcome. Thanks for being here. We didn't do it on purpose, but we were born into it like anything else. Would you walk by somebody you saw drowning in a pool, slowly drowning, because you didn't shove them in? No. Would you walk by somebody in a pool slowly drowning because you didn't build the pool? Of course not. So why the hell don't all white folks take it upon themselves, for many, many reasons, not just these, to give a shit about our fellow humans? Lakeisha, welcome. Thank you for being here. Excited to have you. I did not put any flyers out that I was doing a show tonight. I was just hoping people would come. So I really appreciate you guys being here. So Ice Cube's activism is not my place to tell what I think will save the world. Nobody needs a white savior. Nobody needs someone who, yeah, Ben, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm excited. Thank you so much for being here. So nobody needs, it's not that we don't get to say our opinion. It's not our place. We've had centuries to do something great, and we haven't. Have we had some progress? Well, of course, we've had some progress. Have we had enough? Hell no, not even close. In my very opinionated opinion, which, hey, what can I say? It is unconscionable that systemic racism is an issue in America today. It's as if humans just refuse to evolve. This is not rocket science. This is not a tough call. There are not two sides. I'm sorry. There's the side of being humanistic and loving your fellow humans as your brothers and sisters. And there's the side of being basically an inhumane, cruel, unconscionable sicko. There aren't two sides. So when people always say to me, oh, angry soccer mom, you should definitely debate a Trump supporter. It's kind of, no, I won't. Well, the reason I won't is because all I'd have to say is like, what am I going to say? You're an asshole? What's my real, what am I going to say to them? They believe in white supremacy. If you are a supporter of Trump, you can't get around the fact that you too are supporting white supremacy. You might not be burning crosses on your lawn and swastikas and whatnot and wearing sheets, but you know what? It wasn't a deal breaker for you. And that speaks volumes. You can't support an overtly proud racist person and say, but I'm not. It doesn't work that way. And I like to keep it pretty real on this show. I'm sure people are disturbed by it, but I don't really know any other way. So Ice Cube's activism, I'm going to read a bunch of comments and I want to know what you think. So if you're watching right now, I want to know what you think. That's what this is about. At some point, I'd love to have people on with me in the corner, kind of just coordinating things and running this. But until then, a lot of my friends and people who are really knowledgeable are a little bit afraid to come on. And I don't blame them one bit, because things, this country's it's not good right now, as like you need me to tell you. So let's go on to some headlines. Nails and Glitter, I have debated them. Two are now out of the call. Nails and Glitter, more power to you. You are a better woman than I swear. I don't, because of, I do this and I do the other platforms, I have yet to take a staunch supporter who's just off the charts, and take the time to turn them. In my learning group, people come who want to learn. They might be supporters of Trump and supporters of systemic racism and whatnot, but they want to learn. And there's a difference. If you want to learn, you're going to get there. So I definitely bow down to you, because I don't have the time to do it unless they want to learn. And don't get me wrong. For years, I've worked with white folks who want to learn. And I don't care how bad off they are. If they want to learn, I'm in. But I know what you do, and you are good. You're very good. It's got to be grassroots. Nothing's coming from the top down other than hate. All right. But yeah, Nails and Glitter, seriously, you're awesome. I got some headlines to be noted because there's too much going on. And I want to know what you think. So I'm reading these headlines. Tell me what your take is. Trump disparaged Dr. Fauci, who's been there for like a gazillion years and is considered one of, if not the best in his field. It's kind of embarrassing watching someone who doesn't believe in science criticize a decorated scientist, Dr. Fauci, who he's been trying to pretty much shut up for years now. He basically called him an idiot, which he didn't like, I'm sure. And it all kind of stemmed, this time at least, it stemmed from a 60 Minutes interview that Fauci did. And it seemed like Fauci kind of cut loose on that interview and said what he thought. And it's been quite interesting. I'll go on. That's just a quick piece of news. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who the FBI was, they had targeted this foiled kidnapping plot. They were going to kidnap her, try her on the steps of the Michigan Hall, and execute her. That was the plan. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, the execution part. He's been fanning the flames like crazy at his rallies, and they had the whole lock her up thing going on this week, and it's unconscionable. But remember, we have a very desperate man. Candidates' microphones tomorrow will be muted at the debate. And I want to know what you think about that, about freaking time, sorry. And ABC News and many other sources are quoted as saying, I think Trump says the mute is not fair. Well, of course, it's not fair to him because he wants to talk over everybody, be a bully, and intimidate. So yeah, there's that. He's always good for a little soundbite like that. Another quick one: parents of over 554 migrant children who are taken away from their parents cannot be located still, and that is unconscionable. Our government, for the first time ever, chose to change the law, making it a felony to cross at the southern border and ask for asylum versus a misdemeanor. Harper, welcome. You're not late. You are perfect. I am so happy you're here. And they chose to change the law so that parents desperately seeking asylum for themselves and their children were now felons, giving the Trump administration the right, like the sickest thing I've ever heard of, to take their children away and cage them and basically allow them to be completely abused. Abused physically, mentally, sexually. Great place. There's no place that these kids could go with adequate supervision from a loving, staff person, because they were understaffed, and then they took everything away. And I could go on, but I won't. But I want to. It's a disgrace and so traumatic for those kids. Harper, absolutely. It will be a lifetime of struggle. So 554 migrant children were taken away from their loving parents who walked thousands of miles because they love their kids and they don't want them to die or starve to death. And we don't know where those parents are to give their children back. That's a crime against humanity. Niels and Glitter, the forcible transfer of children of a protected group to another group is fifth punishable act of genocide. Yeah, I mean, it's a crime against humanity. It's unconscionable. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Okay, I lied, I'm not. But yeah, thank you for absolutely. So another little tidbit of headline news to be noted. This is kind of interesting. President Obama has kept very quiet in general, I believe, for whatever reason. Today, he slammed the shady finances while he was campaigning for Biden in Pennsylvania of Trump, because, and he really was quite polite about it, if you ask me. Shady is a very nice way. Oh, you saw his speech in Philly? Really? Harper, you saw it on TV or you were there? You have to tell me. Oh my God, that is crazy. Amazing. Very cool. Let me know. But what he said was, and he's an incredibly, I don't care if you like his policies, don't like his policies. He just seems like a very, very good human being. It was awesome. That's my hometown. Oh my gosh, he said on TV. That is so cool. That is awesome. Yeah, I didn't. But apparently he said, you can tell me if this is true. Can you imagine if I had a secret Chinese bank account and was running for re-election? They'd be calling me Beijing Barry, which absolutely. I mean, if you really think about it, any one of the billions of things that Trump has done to undermine democracy, continue harming, people in historically marginalized groups, any one of the things that he said, that he's tweeted, would have done a president in. I mean, done them in. But no, he doesn't seem to have that. He's worked it really well. He's worked it like the true wannabe dictator that he is. Can you tell there's no love lost here with me and Trump? I have a thing. I'm actually a fairly decently nice human being. I pride myself in that. But those days are gone. No, I'm just kidding. They're not gone, but I definitely have realized that when you're playing with somebody who doesn't play by the rules, playing by the rules doesn't work. This is a system, and it's been in place a heck of a lot longer than any one of us. And it's a powerful system of white supremacy and of wealthy privilege. And they're not going to give up their power, wealth, and prestige for nothing. It will have to be taken. And take that as you will. Let me see here. Okay, so check this out. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and jump in anytime if you have comments. Harper, you're a nice woman, but 45 is disgusting. Unfortunately, he has to be beaten at his own game. You know what, Harper, you are very sweet. I think so too. I learned the hard way as an older adult that when people are absolutely off the freaking rocker and you consistently are forced to deal with, them, I hate to say it. Gary, welcome. You're just on time. I'm so happy you're here. You have to beat them, right? What you said. And that's a really hard lesson to learn for me. It's a really hard lesson, but it's true. You can't fight crazy with sanity. It doesn't work. You'd think it would, but it usually doesn't work. I mean, real crazy, real lunatic type behavior that's out of control, won't stop. And I am not disparaging people who are mentally ill. This is a whole nother ballgame. This is a person who wants to be king. He obviously has mental illness. People around him support that in that they don't call him out. He's wealthy. He's a con man. And clearly he needs help. So anyway, I won't go more into it. But today, according to an article from Robert Reich, the White House this is just insane. I just got this. So if you have any more news on it, please jump right in. The White House is preparing to cut millions of dollars in funding for crucial services in Democratic-led cities that Trump doesn't like. After Trump issued an absurd, and this isn't my word, absurd, this is from the article, executive order mandating that federal agencies slash funds for cities labeled as anarchist jurisdictions. Okay. Can we please say, like, dictator from hell? Very scary. Attorney General William Barr, that's a whole nother story. Apparently he showed up again, surfaced, designated New York City, Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington, as well as DC. And apparently they've been instructed to scrutinize funding for these places. He's really out of line. He's absolutely lost his mind. He didn't have far to go, and the people around him are unconscionable who are allowing this to happen just for the name of being in a party. It's a party that's turned into the second coming of Hitler. What the actual what? So, I mean, this is just crazy. The whole thing's nuts. And I don't know what to say. Harper, hey, I'm 50. I'm Sicilian and I'm from Philly. I know how to fight dirty. Awesome. I don't, but I can learn. Gary drove through a small town that was full of Trump signs 2 weeks ago. A few left and Biden signs are up. Really? Huh. I mean, Harper, what the hell is Barr getting out of this? That's a really good question. I think Barr is one of those, and this is what I don't know, but I'm just taking a guess that he's one of the Christians, the fundamentalist Christians who believe that he's going to help us all by his sick, cruel ways. I don't really know. But I'm just saying, that's the only thing I could think of is that he believes, like, religiously speaking, he's like, helping somehow. I don't know. Maybe he enjoys harming people and being cruel and evil to his fellow humans. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, so this is what's on the chopping block for these cities. I can't believe this is happening. But you know what? I can. Like I've been saying for the last couple months, nobody is going to hold up a sign and say, we're now a dictatorship. There will not be a sadist like Trump. Yeah, he must be. They are absolutely in cahoots with this. He picked the right person for the job because obviously he enjoys being incredibly inhumane. Gary, good call. But nobody's putting up a sign. Nobody's going to make an announcement. America, guess what? We're now a dictatorship. It just slowly happens over time because the people, I'm sorry, this is my commentary. The people allow it. Us, we're the people. And you might think, what? I don't allow it. Well, not enough of us give a shit. That's kind of what it comes down to. We think freedom's free. We think that it's always been this way. We forget about the people who died for the rights that we don't even appreciate now. The people who put it all on the line for us. And I'm not being dramatic here when I say, oh, Harper, I miss McCain. I know. You guys, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just me. And I vote for the person who's the most humanistic every time. Because I don't know the thousands and thousands of decisions they're going to make. I don't know what they're going to do behind closed doors. I'm not privy to that. Neither are you, neither are most of us. So I pick a person who's humane so that at the very, very top is that. And then everything else trickles down from that. But if you pick a person who's inhumane, that's the basis from which every decision is made. So it's kind of scary. Gary, a sadist like Trump, absolutely. Harper, I remember when McCain was on the campaign trail, a woman at one of his rallies had the mic and was bad-mouthing Obama. McCain took the mic from her and let her know that's absolutely wrong. I remember that. I saw that. And that's called being a good person. That's called having personal integrity. So that was a really cool thing. It does not matter if he's a Republican. I respected the hell out of that man and I followed him. Oh, Lifetime Low IQ Talk with Soccer Mom should be the new name. Oh, you know what? I have been wanting to rename this thing for a while, but I don't think I'm going to name it that. And my only comment about that is, but yet you're here. So don't put yourself down. Okay. Low IQ or not, we got this. Not everybody has to have a high IQ to talk about this kind of thing. And if you are here, then you're kind of insulting your own self. But thank you for your lovely comment. Let me just keep taking comments here. Gary, McCain was a human. Trump's a demon. Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with Republicans. I have many Republicans that I absolutely love dearly. But let me see. Where am I? Nails and glitter. I'm done with all these traditional politicians. I want a progressive in. Well, obviously, everybody who knows me knows that Biden's not he's not exactly my number one chick. He's not even my second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th. I would have loved a progressive. And again, a lot of people feel that both parties are horrific. And I was just so hoping for a progressive. I call it a progressive because that's what we refer to it here. But quite frankly, anywhere else in the, Western world, this isn't progressive. They've had universal health care forever. They've had it like forever, for a really long time. Our nation is the one who hasn't. That's us. So we think that's progressive. We think allowing for higher education is progressive. We think being humanistic and trying to dismantle systemic racism is progressive. Personally, I find it the minimum standard. I find it to be a very minimum standard. We're in 2020 for the love of God. We can't recognize that our fellow brothers and sisters deserve some goddamn equity. That's really scary. But anyway, I'm missing some comments. I wanted to talk about something that is really troubling my family brought up tonight. kind of in the 11th hour, so I just grabbed it. Many of the former Southern states that, seceded from the Union and whatnot in the Civil War, they still are very, very much Republican. And I don't really get it, because some of those states are the most poor in our country, and they could really use programs to help them meet their potential in education and employment and everything, and healthcare. So they were telling me today, West Virginia, goodness gracious, in the year, they got last place for life expectancy in 2018 and 2010 as well. Last place, okay? They have a 74-year life expectancy. The top of the list is 80, 81, 82. That's like a lot of years, people. That's a lot of years, life expectancy. And, that's healthcare. In fact, I'll read you the last 10 on the list for life expectancy. And I don't know if you'll be shocked, but West Virginia, Mississippi, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Louisiana, South Carolina, Indiana, Missouri, Georgia. North Carolina is on there too. People, these people are actively voting against their own best interest. And I don't get it. The only thing I can think of, and the reason why, is because Trump had them at racism. The minute they found out that he understood their white supremacist attitudes and tendencies and whatnot, it didn't matter what the hell else he did. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I've been saying that for years, and I don't want to be right, but I kind of think I might be. Let me take some comments. So this is some scary stuff. So now Trump is going to take away these cities he calls anarchist jurisdictions. He, along with William Barr, have decided that these democratic places of, what is this rights crap, this human rights crap, this civil rights crap, so he's going to take away their money. And then I just kind of had a sidebar for a moment, because I got some statistics on some of the most Republican states are voting against their best interest, like on so many levels. Okay, I will shut up now and take some comments. Let me see here. Let's travel over here. Oh my goodness. Harper, I live in an area with huge 45 support. It's disgusting to see their signs. I don't know how many Biden-Harris supporters there are, because they probably felt the same way I do. Yeah, she doesn't know. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Just scrolling and scrolling. All right. Let me find some. Sorry, I've scrolled past. Let me just go back for a second. I apologize. Harper, I was afraid to put out a sign. I hung a huge flag on my balcony. Let them do what they want to my house and or car. I have insurance. Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough call. Like a lot of my friends who are Black, Brown, Indigenous, and of mixed heritage do not want to come on my show and talk about racism. And I don't blame them one bit, because we're in an era of where people believe it's like they believe that the Civil War is still going, and we're in this era where people are emboldened by the person in the White House, and it's really, really sad. I didn't know there was a thing that you could not believe in science, to be honest. I'm like, that's a thing? Damn. But apparently that's a thing, not believing in science. or at least subjectively picking and choosing believing in science, as is noted by Trump's time at the hospital. Apparently, he wanted to grab all the science he possibly could, whereas he doesn't believe, nor does he seem to understand science, at least for certain policies like global warming and whatnot, climate change. All right. Yeah, Ben, I feel that the Democratic Party is just as wicked. Yeah, you're not alone. You are absolutely not alone. I mean, I talk to scores of people who feel the same way, and actually, I feel close to the same way, but not quite. Only because right now we have a person who doesn't just want to win. Trump has mentioned, and through his behavior, has shown us from the beginning he wants to be a dictator. And he's circumvented the Constitution at every turn. He's taken every tradition and turned it upside down. And he is on his way. He's following suit with how dictators have done it in the past, historically. And he's really good at it. The lying and the media stuff. And I mean, he's got the man knows what he's doing. I'm not trying to give him credit, but he's not good. So right now, I think this election, at least for me, is not about Republicans and Democrats, not even close. It's about whether we turn dictatorship, which again, there won't be an announcement. I was kind of hoping there would be. It'd be nice if there was, but there's not. Or we start getting capitalism into check. Right now, we have capitalism on steroids as a lifestyle, whereas it was never meant to be a lifestyle. It was supposed to be this economic thing, and now it's a lifestyle. We're one of the only nations, like nations in the Western world, that has for-profit healthcare. Every time I say it, I cannot normalize it. We have for-profit healthcare. When you get sick, the wealthiest corporations try to deny you services because they want to make money off your illness. Do you ever wonder why we have copays and all these deductibles and they're so complicated? Welcome to for-profit healthcare, where the wealthiest people make money off of your misery, basically. I find that to be unconscionable. We're supposed to be a wealthy nation, and this is what we do. We have for-profit prisons. My God, that's even more. I don't know which is sicker. All right. Let me see. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't blame you one bit for feeling that way. Eben, why do you think Democrats are just as wicked? I think there's like evil, and then there's just off the charts. I can't speak for who's not. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not into that kind of thing. But all I know is if we think it's bad for people who are in numerical, historically marginalized groups right now, think about what a dictatorship's going to be. Just look around and it's going to be terrifying. I don't want to say any more because it's extremely upsetting. And there'll be nothing we can do. We might be past that point now. I don't know. So that's why I would vote for a freaking pet rock over Trump. He's dismantling our Constitution. He and his clan are destroying our, whatever we have left of our democratic republic or oligarchy or whatever you want to call it. All right. Let me just see here. Fragility is real. Absolutely. And you know what, people, there's no reason to be so hostile about, I'm not saying you particularly, but there's no reason to be hostile about white fragility. It's understandable, but it's something we need to get in touch with. White privilege does not mean you're wealthy. It does not mean you have tons of money and that your life is great. No, It does not mean you're rich. It does not mean you're happy. It does not mean you have a great life. It doesn't mean you don't work your ass off. It simply means that with all the problems people have, your skin tone isn't going to be one of them. All right. And that's as simple an explanation as I can give. Let me see. Harper, nails glitter. You nailed it. Okay. Let me just keep going down here. I'm getting a little bit. Let me just see here. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. That should help me a little bit. Maybe not. Okay, because I need to keep going. And as lovely as Mr. Lifetime is, the goal of this live show is not a debate. There's nothing to debate. There's no debate. Being humanistic and treating our fellow Americans like they matter and helping to bring equity for all groups is not debatable. That's called being a freaking human being. And if you choose not to be a human being, that is your problem. All right? We don't get credit for acting like a goddamn human. We're humans. Jamie, just in time. Thank you for being here. But there's no argument for being inhumane. There's no argument. Even our Constitution says so. So I'm really sorry for all the silliness, but it's not happening. Let me see. Let me scroll back up here. Yeah. We'll try to ignore all that stuff. I know it's difficult, but Harper, true, nothing to debate. Nails and glitter, you don't even believe. All right, so let's go on. So what's going to happen to these supposed cities that, according to Robert Reich, that Trump has decided to defund? He calls them anarchist jurisdictions. This is kind of scary, you guys. He's going to defund anarchist jurisdictions, according to him, and Barr's going to help him. What the actual you know what? Here's what's on the chopping block, according to Robert Reich, who I trust very much. He's worked in many administrations. He's an economist, really, really great teacher at Berkeley, and kind of a good artist too, actually. He says that they're going to take nutrition and mental health services away for the elderly. And remember, this is going to impact immediately, supposedly, or whenever they get it going, New York City, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and Washington, D.C. He has deemed these places as, not worthy of being supported. He's just really lost his shit. He's lost it. He's going to take away their funding. He's going to take away mental health services and nutrition funding for Trump's own HIV initiative in Washington. He's going to take away $1 million grant for the communities, for migrant health care, for health centers, for COVID patients. If you take away, I feel like this isn't rocket science, but if you take away people's COVID coverage so that they can't stay well, aren't you kind of screwing your own self? Because it's like contagious. I'm just saying it's contagious. Okay. I'm not trying to speak the obvious, but he is taking away addiction treatment and recovery services from DC. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And according to Robert Reich, that's just the tip of the iceberg. 185 programs serving these cities' most vulnerable populations are at risk of being gutted by Trump's temper tantrum. What the actual you know what? This is kind of like a political retribution. It's extremely unethical in normal times and in the midst of this pandemic that is raging on. Thanks to our lack of leadership and horrific, basically doing nothing. It's just sick. It's really cruel. It's terrible. So what do you guys think? He is personally lashing out against certain cities, Democratic cities, and Damn, it's scary. Let me take some comments. Let's see. Old Hickory, hello. Came from the base commentary, but I am struggling to concentrate. Can you wear a turtleneck? Oh, very funny. Very funny. I'm struggling to concentrate too, but it's for other reasons. You're funny. Thanks. I think. Skeptical Goat. If Trump loses, do you think militia groups like the one in Michigan will increase? If Trump, yeah. I think that we're at a really, really rough time. Absolutely. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? That's a great question. Martial law on the way if Trump loses. Absolutely. I think we're in trouble. I know I want to know where my family is on the 3rd and thereafter. And please be safe. You guys, we're in unprecedented times, at least for our generation. In my lifetime, I've never seen anything. This is like nuts. Let me see. Great questions. I want to know what you guys think. I have some ideas, but I can't really foretell the future. I know what people have promised and vowed and threatened. And we're going to get into a little bit about that right now because it's already starting. It's actually already starting in a lot of places. I don't know if it's been widely publicized, but that's my next topic is police intimidation and right-wing intimidation at polls. It's kind of scary stuff. So just bear with me. Let me make sure I haven't forgotten anybody. I probably skipped some people by accident. Let me see. Old Hickory, I'm extremely happy you're here and you're very funny. And Skeptic Goat, I'm happy you're here too. I appreciate it. And I want your input. Harper. I'm not going to read that. Thanks. Actually, very sweet. I think we're in trouble. Grant, things are really, Trump's not a politician. He's a bully businessman, and he's against the New World Order. Trump, definitely not. It's really, the whole thing's really kind of scary for me. Has a bully business. Yeah, it's pretty scary. Nails and Glitter, I think civil unrest will increase regardless of outcome, but real militias probably won't be accepting new members. Yeah, I don't know. Nails and Glitter, you follow this stuff really closely. What do you think? And Gary, when he loses, the Trump trash will become the terrorists that they want to be. Yeah, I'm really concerned. Personally, I'm really concerned. The whole thing, I don't mean to repeat myself over and over again, but the people who seem to support Trump the most are working against their own best interest in that he's doing the worst things for them. He's cutting their social programs, yet they vote for him. So they must really, 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 really love that he's racist. I don't know what else to think. I don't know everything. You tell me what you think. Let me see. Nails and Glitter, I think civil unrest will increase. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Oops. They won't be accepting members because maybe they won't trust them, or I don't know. I know the FBI is on top of things. They really jumped on the whole thing with the governor of Virginia and of Michigan. But apparently they were going after the Virginia governor as well. And this is some scary stuff. Skeptic Goat, I think it'll get worse if he loses. Oh, Ramses, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy to have you. Jump right in and tell me what you think. I know things are exponentially kind of going to keep getting worse up to the election. I'm definitely concerned, very concerned. Yeah, Biden, Ben, Biden is fooling the people. My hope for Biden, and as I said, and most people who know me know, Mario, welcome. Thanks for jumping in. Jeremy, oh my gosh, yay. I definitely, now I want to first, before I go back, I wanted to say that I don't think Biden is even close to my first, second, third, fourth, 10th choice. But I can say with certain, I'm confident that he does not want to circumvent the Constitution and become the dictator king, destroy our democratic republic. I can only hope to hell he learned from his mistakes. I can only hope to hell he did. And my big push for what I'm going to be doing with any push that I might have, any influence, which is very minimal. Obviously, I'm a single human being, is the second Biden does get into office, I'm going to be doing everything I can in my small amount of power to push for a progressive agenda, which again, isn't progressive except for us here. Everywhere else, that'd be just moving with the times and acting human. So I don't think it's progressive. I think it's minimal. So I understand what Biden voted for. People can't forgive him, and he's not willing to repent. I can only hope to hell that he's learned from his experience and from wisdom throughout the years. I hope to hell he's learned. But there is no comparison in my mind. I wanted to tell you, my friend Mario J is an amazing podcaster, video maker. He is inspirational. He has been so kind to let me put his videos up on my channel. He is brilliant in the way he sees things. He's inspirational. And I really, really want people to take a look at his work. He's just inspirational. You're going to love it. So please check the videos out that I have on mine, and also go to his. He has a Facebook and a YouTube channel, and he's incredibly inspirational. And he just kind of makes you think, you know what? I got this. And it's a great feeling. I love his stuff. I love it. And I hope you do too. So please check him out. As you know, I am so lucky to find all these people that care, and they care about our fellow humans. And I am absolutely thrilled to, get the word out as best I can. So if you know somebody who needs a little, and for sure, Mario is absolutely amazing on his own, but why not? If you're here, then I bet you'll like his stuff too. So check it out. And he's amazing. You might not have to agree with everything, but you know what? This guy's got a heart of gold and is so inspirational. Like, you'll just say, God, I get this man, and it's really cool. So check it out. Jeremy, seems like political dogma, it's getting a bit too much. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You think it's worse, skeptic go, you think it's worse if he loses. Yeah, Ben, I'm trying to think about fooling the people. What is he? Tell me more. I would like to hear more. What do you mean by that? I personally, I'm one of the people, I guess. I get what he's doing. I get what he's done. And, like I said, he's not even close to my first, second, third, fourth, 10th, billionth choice. But there's no comparison. Our democratic republic, or whatever's left of it, is not good. And Trump is circumventing it, and he'd like to be dictator. Think about how Black, brown, and indigenous people, and anyone who's not well off, is going to be treated in a dictatorship. That's terrifying. Ask people in Iran. They'll tell you. I mean, anyway, let me take more comments. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go backwards because I'm absolutely missing people. I apologize. Harper, he's a shitty businessman. How many times has he how many times has he claimed bankruptcy for his business? Not personally, he hasn't, but for his business, it's been 4 times, plus the possibility of some other times that were kind of iffy, but 4 for sure. He is absolutely unbelievable. The lawsuits, my God, the lawsuits. But anyway, I don't want to come on to bag on him. He just happens to be kind of the center focus right now. But we got to remember, when he's gone, we still have all the people who got him in there and who have been supporting him through inhumane, unconscionable things. So, America, despite him, we got issues. We have horrific, like I need to tell you. So I don't know. Even if Biden does win, it might be too late. I don't know. I don't know about late stage democracy. I've never studied it in depth, but I never thought it would happen in my lifetime. So I'm just saying. Okay. Nails and glitter. A lot of militia groups don't want the liability of crazies. So many have a referral system to get in. Yeah. I mean, here's the bottom line. Groups that are not extremely leader oriented, ones that are kind of philosophies, tend to have people speak in their name that we wouldn't want to speak in anyone's name. And once they do that, it gets really ugly fast. Anyone can say I represent Black Lives Matter. I mean, no, they don't. They probably don't even understand the philosophies and what that's about. You can represent, and it works both ways. I mean, the Proud Boys, recently there's been a infiltration of them apparently doing some really bad things. Well, maybe it's not them. We don't know. So, I mean, this can happen to anybody. And once it happens, it's really tough to be looked at as legit. And that's why I stress that 3% or less of the supposed Black Lives Matter protests have had any problems whatsoever. And unfortunately, I'm going to be really honest here, from what I've seen, and I've been keeping track of, I don't know if you see what I put on my YouTube channel, but oh my God, days and days, and it's still going on, of police brutality. A lot of the brutality is instigated by the police. It's been a goddamn free for all. I'm just saying. So it's hard to say. And also, as we all learned, a lot of the places are, pretending to be certain groups and instigating. So, I mean, we got lots of issues here. Let me see. Jeremy, Biden is a good candidate, but is he effective? That's a philosophical and pragmatic question. It's so funny, Jeremy. I know what you mean. I have no clue. And for me, it's a moot point because of how I feel that there's no other option. If there were other options, oh my God, I would definitely. But at this point, it's like vote to have a dictatorship of a very, very mentally not well-off man, or the lesser of two evils, I guess. One evil being he wants to be a dictator for life. So I truly believe that with all my heart. He's absolutely lost. He has a mental disorder. He's some sort of personality disorder that is really, really a tough thing. As many people who want to be dictators probably do throughout history. I mean, I don't think it's that. I'm not a psychiatrist, but anyway. Good points, Snails and Glitter. Yeah, they don't want people representing them. And Jeremy, I have no idea. But at this point, we don't really have a choice. Skeptic Go, thanks for the show as usual. I have to go. I may come back in. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your input. I appreciate you stopping in. And nobody has to agree with anything I'm saying or espousing. A lot of the stuff I'm saying isn't my opinion as much as it is just kind of social science, facts, information. But thank you for being here. Harper. Oh, I'll skip that one. Let's skip. Jeremy. Jeremy. Harper. Another question is how long how long? He's another old man like Trump. So in his natural state of age, it might take a while. I don't know. Jeremy, regarding your psychological framework, I don't know. I do know that Trump's actively, he ran a campaign, but the first time I found out who this guy was, to essentially further marginalize people in numerical minority groups in America. Like, that's what his Proud campaign was running on. And so that says it all. I mean, the man's a sicko. So I really think that if he comes back, it's over. It might be over anyway, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Let me see. Go back. Nails and glitter. The biggest issue with Biden is people think everything is fine and people become complacent again. More business as usual. And that is absolutely an excellent point. Nails and glitter, that is why the second, if he does win, everything in my focus is going to be for a progressive agenda. He can say whatever he wants. He's a moderate, he's a this, he's a that. He's in. I think we all should be just after him like nobody's business to start implementing these supposed progressive things. They're not progressive. They're minimum standards for being human. We are so lucky to be human beings, okay? Like, we don't have to go by fear. We don't have to go by instinct alone. We can be scared and say, you know what? I'm really scared shitless, but I'm a human, so I'm going to use some critical thinking skills. And you know what? I think I'm going to not lash out and smack somebody in the face, or I'm going to not do this. It is the coolest thing, having the ability to have critical thinking skills. The only problem is we have to use them. And thinking hurts. It's kind of painful in a way. I mean, I'm just admitting it is. So we got to use these things. We're humans. Act human. Use your critical thinking skills. We are all in the same race, the human race. We split it up by shades and colors. That's a human construct. It's ridiculous. We're all related. Now, if that doesn't sound incestuous, I don't know what does. We're all related. And because people don't want to accept that, it's insane. I say we make it so there's no business as usual if he wins. We force no business as usual. That's the only thing that I can come up with personally. And I know I will be doing everything in my small amount of power to push for supposed progressive. There is no reason every single person in this nation shouldn't have health care. It's a human right, for God's sakes. We're one of the only Western nations that doesn't have it. And that's pathetic. So I won't go on and on, although I'd like to. Although I do enjoy going on and on. Harper, I think he'll eventually be effective because he will have Harris by his side. She's going to call him out when he's wrong. I think he'll listen. She's powerful. And I know a lot of people are hating on her because of her record as a prosecutor. And she is not perfect either. But people, we don't have perfect. But Trump is going to be so much worse. He wants to be a dictator. Our nation will not stand as a democratic republic, or whatever you want to call it, an oligarchy, one more minute, let alone 4 more years of this absolutely mentally ill, inhumane, unconscionably cruel man. Let me see. It's the same way trolls try to bother us because he has 0 human beings in his life. Okay, I'm not sure. That was like okay. Side comment. Jeremy. Okay, I already read that. I'm getting there. I'm scrolling down. Okay. Nails and glitter. If people don't know what the DSM-5 is, it's the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition. Thanks, Nails and Glitter. Yay. Yeah. I guess you may be naming that because, yeah, it's basically a psychological manual that's put out by the experts in the field that names and explains the disorders and kind of tells about them. It's considered the Bible of psychiatry and some psychology as well. So yeah, there's that. Thank you, Nails and Glitter. Harper, I've tried having discussions with 45 supporters. It doesn't go well because I can't stick my head that far up. Oh, yeah. Well, the bottom line is this. it's really difficult because a lot of folks who are supporters are following conspiratorial, like conspiracy stuff. It's like really scary. And they're following QAnon and these like completely out of touch with social science and physical science. And if you can make up anything, then you can't argue somebody who's just lying and making up stuff. We gotta, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this one, I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna. There's a power to fake news. And what that power is, in my opinion, is that if you aren't able to research, do a ton of research to find out the truth, if you're not willing to use your critical thinking skills to find out the truth, and you hear fake news, what a lot of people do is they say, well, the truth's somewhere in the middle, probably. And what that does is two things. It makes them not really know what the truth is, but what it really does is it makes them so they can't be passionate and adamant to fight that. Because if the truth's somewhere in the middle, people don't fight for things that are somewhere in the middle. They fight for things that are way over this way or way over that way. So what it does is it stops a lot of people from caring about what's really going on. Fake news is brilliant to break up people who actually believe in science. It's brilliant because you can say anything, and what are you going to say? They just make up stuff. It's really crazy. But I mean, I've seen it done over and over again, and it's a brilliant tactic. It really is. I don't think it's good, but it's pretty brilliant. Let me just see here. I put the A sign in front. Oh, you're teaching her how to make a person orange. Okay. That's funny. Oh, you have a copy. It's a huge book. Yes. Oh, wow. That's some heavy reading, huh? Okay, let me just scooch down here. I felt like, Jeremy, I felt like the American dream has perished a long time ago. Yeah. Over the last 40, 50 years, I think it has gone straight downhill with Citizens United and with taking away the fairness doctrine. Citizens United and taking away the fairness doctrine really have impacted us, I believe. And the fact that corporations become conglomerates and it's like they're all saying the same thing. It's gotten crazy. Absolutely. The middle class is dwindling. And in a way that could be why white folks in general are starting much more than ever before to notice that there's some serious inequities going on here, serious systemic racism, and they're opening up their eyes more than ever. So that might be part of it. It's because now it actually impacts us. I don't know, but I'm just saying. But the American dream, absolutely. All right. I've tried, Harper saying to Nails Glitter, I've tried to have discussions with people I know and people I don't, and it never goes well. People I've known for a long time, I can't understand why they don't see it. I don't either. I don't get it. It's really confusing, but Jeremy, U.S. as Homo sapiens are naturally tribalistic, in my opinion. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we have to be that way. I think it's also culturally taught and kind of pushed a little bit. I'm just saying. Culturally, and it's really socialized. I really feel like we're indoctrinated here. I think everybody is. We're indoctrinated into white supremacy. That's my very opinionated opinion. Let me see. Battle of Jenkins Ferry. Welcome. These are people who believe the earth is 6,000 years old and that 600-year-old man built a floating zoo with Stone Age tools. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to beg on religion, although it's extremely tempting and fun to do so at times. I won't go there, but not saying you are, but I can't get into that. a lot of the folks that seem to be Trump supporters, and not all of them, it's kind of interesting, they have some commonalities, but I think the one commonality that maybe is the most extreme and really unspoken is that they have some serious issues with racism, in that they have chosen not to be introspective into their own personal beliefs. Maybe they're too scared. Maybe they aren't there. I don't know, at that place. You have to be at a certain level to do that. But I do know that for the most part, what they do have in common, whether they're rich, poor, educated or not, is that they are absolutely okay with Trump's horrific overt racism. And that is the common factor. Because if you're not okay with systemic racism, you won't support him. But if you support him, you might not be, like I said, you might not be burning crosses and swastikas on your lawn, but it wasn't a deal breaker. And that's huge. You cannot be anti-racist and support a racist. Life just doesn't work that way. So, let me see. We're getting some comments here. Great Battle of Jenkins Ferry. Thank you so much for your excellent commentary. That's exactly what I want here, is to hear people's views. Yeah, I mean, they believe their beliefs are antiquated. They're antiquated beliefs. They want things to stay the same. They aren't using their critical thinking skills. I don't know how else to put it. But thank you for your nice comment. Nails and Glitter. I've had success with Christians because Trump is antithetical to morality, and I know all the religious arguments in and out. Yeah, no, I mean, like I always say, I'm very simplistic when it comes to religion. If your religion teaches you to hate on our fellow humans, you're probably doing it wrong. And I don't really go much further than that. But I know that's really simplistic, but it's like, seriously, I have a religion of hate. Give me a break. That's ridiculous. So if that is what you believe, you've interpreted your religion to be, then I don't know. Something's not going right. But yeah, no, Nails and Glitter, I know you do. Jeremy, to be fair, Battle of Jenkins Ferry, from an anthropological and historical standpoint, we didn't have a 365-day calendar until around 3600 BC with the existence of Babylonian Empire. Okay, you guys battle it out. I know what you're saying. So time itself is also a man-made construct to a certain extent as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I speak of, I mean, relative evolution is what I'm speaking of. Not, it's a hard one. Global Entertainment TV, thank you for being here. Stranger, good to have you. You're coming right in at a great time for the conversation. Gary, Nails and Glitters, you've had better luck than I. A pastor I know loves Trump and white-splains him away. He forgets that I was considering the ministry and know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons people will flock to somebody like Trump. It's complicated. I mean, social science is really complicated. There's too many confounding variables to even see straight, but it's really scary. The way I like to break it down is this. People who are extreme and haters are a relatively small group. People who are absolutely with it and willing to educate themselves and willing to devote their life to it. It's a relatively small group. Unless they have to because they're black, brown, or Indian. I mean, you have to. If you don't, it's your safety is in jeopardy. It's those people in the freaking middle. Those people who, they're just trying to make ends meet. They're trying to get along. They're working hard. They just, they think racism's wrong, but they don't know much about it. They don't have time to get involved in it. And, they don't want to fight with anybody, and they're nice to everybody. And so they think being nice to everybody and treating everyone the way they'd like to be treated is enough. And unfortunately, it's not. Being nice to everybody is not going to dismantle systemic racism. Now, don't get me wrong. I think people should be nice to everybody and treat them the way they like to be treated. But it's not going to dismantle systemic racism, unfortunately. There's no neutral. You have to take action. You have to educate yourself, if you're white, to take racial responsibility, not guilt. It has nothing to do with guilt. It has to do with that we're humans and we are alive on the planet and we can see what's happening. And it's not right in a nation that boasts liberty and justice for all. What kind of bullshit is this? I don't know what to say. So I'm blabbing. It's the people in the middle that do nothing and think it's okay. And I'm not saying that meanly, because I'm just those are the masses of people who just listen to other people. And maybe I don't want to be stereotypical with this, but maybe the men or the women, listen to their spouse and just, vote like they want them to vote. And they don't really do their own research, and they believe everything they see on Facebook, and they don't have time to do research. Well, those are the people that are screwing us all over. A democratic republic works with an educated populace. We don't have one, and it is purposeful. I will go on. Sorry. Let me see here. 45 supporters believe the Bible, which is strange because they don't know the verses. Well, yeah, and neither does Trump. Trump's the last person who, you guys, I saw him when I was younger on Howard Stern, boasting how he's trying to get his girlfriend at the time to have an abortion, talking about it, begging her. I mean, give me a break. The guy is just, it's ridiculous. He's a phony fake. He's he is a con man, and what a con man he is. Let me see. Wow, I have a lot of people I've skipped. I'm going to get back here. Okay, Jeremy, that's why it throws me off guard when people still subscribe to Korean calendars, African calendars, or no calendars at all. Interesting. Nails and glitter. Try to talk in generalized subjects, right and wrong. Then point out that things are wrong that get overlooked. Then point out how those general situations can negatively affect them. Oh, you're giving good coaching. That's awesome. Global entertainment. Forget trying to change Trump. Trump's going to be Trump, nothing more. Oh, absolutely. The man's off the charts. Nails and glitter. Then you walk away. Very important to let them put themselves in the situation in their own head. Nails and glitter, that is a fantastic suggestion. And only because I've said it myself. When you give information that's kind of, I guess, shocking, like, wow, do not keep going. It's a tendency. We want to keep going. Like, oh my God, they're getting it. They're learning. No, let them have time to, it's kind of digest the information. When I work with white folks who want to learn but are, raised with lots of overt racism, the first thing I teach them is what a human construct is. And I stop after that because that's a big, if you think about it this way. If race is a human construct, then you thought there were different races, like for real, different races. That's a huge, bam, slap in the face. So like Nails and Glitter is saying, you got to give people time to kind of make it their own, digest it and go through it. It is a very steep learning curve in the anti-racism continuum that all white people are on somewhere. And it's a real tough one. So yeah, they have to have time because you're shattering their world. And sometimes they're not ready. So it's a tough thing. Gary, Trump isn't racist. He has been Carson. Very good, very good. White supremacy is a dictatorial system. Yeah, I mean, there is some sort, and I haven't studied this in depth at all, but there is some sort of symbiotic relationship between systemic racism and capitalism. It's a kind of weird symbiotic thing going on. And I don't know enough about it. There's a lot of things I don't know enough about. Oftentimes I've thought I should go back and get my PhD, because then I would really, really have a better grasp of a lot of this. But it's a consideration. But let me see. But yeah, it's Jeremy. Philosophy is an academic field, is better than studying politics, changes. Yeah. Philosophy's awesome. Philosophy's amazing. It's definitely interesting. Herman Cain is dead. He got his black friend sick. Oh, okay. Tell me more, Nails and Glitter. What do you mean? Global entertainment. Trump's followers seem more like cultists than party followers. They seem dumb, stupid, and ignorant. Oh, and also selfish. Next case. Yeah, it's a real, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. It's really challenging to understand the whole thing. It's interesting. Somebody's getting a PhD based on Trump alone. They're going to, they'll sit for their PhD and it'll be basically like the, mental illness of Trump, and I guess, but it's really complicated. Let me see here. Oh, wow. I'm skipping a lot of people. I'm sorry. Okay. So who on here thinks Biden is going to win the election? That's a good question. Bring it on, people. I think Trump's going to win. I don't want him to, but I think he is. Jeremy, challenging dogmas and synthesizing effective philosophies is how we evolve as Homo sapiens. Absolutely. We got to use those higher level thinking skills that hurt. Absolutely, Jeremy. And it's painful. And even if you are not a person with a hugely high IQ, you can still use critical thinking skills. It's a choice. I mean, at a certain point, obviously, you're not going to be able to. As a special education teacher, I'm painfully aware of that. But most people within 2 standard deviations of a normal IQ can use critical thinking skills. They can. They just have to want to. And it is work. Harper, interesting philosophy. Jerry, can anyone really change your mind about something that's true? We're getting into philosophy right there. Gary, TV, it looks like we will, of course, the Trump Republicans will cheat to try to stop it. They've done tons of that already. Jeremy, Harper Grant, that's the point. It's the basic foundation of philosophy is that there's no such thing as absolute truth in such a field of human thought. Yeah. You guys philosophize about it. My mind's going to be spinning. But yeah, no, I understand that. That's definitely, it's a huge field of study. But philosophies must change because humans change. Global Entertainment TV, all you nice people that say Trump's America is not who we are. Trump America is just what America is, or he wouldn't be elected as. Yeah, absolutely right. And I don't know who says that. I must hang out with people who don't say that, but I believe that is true. He is the only silver lining, and I hate that expression. The only silver lining about this is that we are seeing ourselves in a mirror. Not personally, maybe not you, but our culture of white supremacy. He is our president. He won somehow, and yes, he didn't get the popular vote, but he got enough people who believed in his racist, bigoted, misogynistic views that he's here. And it wasn't a deal breaker how incredibly overtly racist he was. And that says it all. Absolutely, I cannot fight that one. That's true. Harper, remember what he said. I've been schooled on the virus. I think this education came from Trump University, just saying. Oh, absolutely. There's a lock. Hello, Anton. Thank you for being here. I hope you're still here. I've been blabbing away. Great to have you if you're still here. Nails and glitter. Yeah, I don't have the patience to explain the Electoral College, voter suppression, gerrymandering, and money in politics tonight. Well, no, but Global Entertainment TV. Oh, but that's how the Electoral College works, so we've heard. Vernon! Oh my gosh! Yay, from Hawaii. Awesome. I hope you're still here. I've been blabbing away. Let me go on. I have so much to talk about and get your opinions on, and so much to say. I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to start blabbing. So all these things that we're talking about, according to, oh my gosh, let me just scroll right up. All these things, according to Robert Reich, are happening. I haven't looked into them because it was just out an hour ago. Jeremy, oh gosh, gerrymandering. All I remember is just about drawing weird district maps to screw everyone over in terms of voting. Yep, gerrymandering is, it's like a science. It's really it's a sick thing. There's a lot you don't understand about how the elite keep control of the masses. Yeah, the elite have us pegged for fools, and they're right. We have bought into, not all of us, but most of us, especially the white folks, have bought into the lies. The lies. Maybe someday we'll get rich too if we just keep hating and blaming Black people for everything. It's total bullshit, and it is part of our culture. And it is almost, when you try to get, fight for or even talk about equity for Black people, you're un-American. That's how ingrained it is in our culture. It's like you can't separate systemic racism from America. So it's a toughie. It's a toughie. Okay. You guys are funny tonight. I'm going to go on to, so here's what's on the chopping block, all these different things. And I want to go on to police intimidation at the polls, because this is happening now, and this is huge. According to the CBS Miami, a Miami police officer, tell me if you've heard of this, faces disciplinary action because after sporting a pro-Trump mask, he went voting in his uniform off duty, and the pro-Trump mask was kind of nasty. Police Chief Jorge Colina is calling the actions of Miami police officer unacceptable, which is really kind of a mild way of saying, like, okay, the guy is like, obviously, the last thing we want is for people who do not believe that all groups matter, for people who believe that some groups matter more than others, to have a gun and have authority over us. That's really scary. So the picture was taken by the chairman of the Miami Democratic Party, and it was inside the early voting poll site in downtown Miami. And this guy was, basically, this is what the tweet was that got it out in the open. This officer, Daniel Ubeda, in full uniform with a badge and gun, wearing his Trump mask inside the polling location in the government center. This is city-funded voter intimidation. He should be immediately suspended. He wore a mask saying Trump and then some expletive of sorts. Another example of voter intimidation that's been happening right now, this week as we speak, is according to the APF and other news sources, authorities in Florida were looking into emails sent to registered Democrats demanding that they vote for Trump in the November 3rd election, or we will come after you, quote, end quote. This is happening right now. Emails to Florida voters, allegedly from the far-right Proud Boys group, all have the same text, but are individually addressed to voters by name, saying, you will vote for Trump on election day, or we will come after you. That's kind of scary shit. I'm just saying. Let me see. The emails said this: we are in possession of all your information. You are currently registered as a Democrat, and we know this because we have gained access to the entire voting infrastructure. That's kind of scary. You will vote for Trump on election day, or we will come after you. Change your party affiliation to Republican to let us know you've received our message, and we'll comply. I don't think you can do that, actually. I think there's certain limitations on doing that. But still, we will know which candidate you voted for. I don't know about that either. Nevertheless, a threat is a threat. I would take this seriously if I were you. The message ended adding the voter's address. So good luck. Public information in state voting records in the United States includes a person's name, address, and party affiliation. So I can't understand how people can believe those emails. I can't understand how they believe it enough to listen to it, but it's scary when you've never had contact. Jay, hello, welcome to the show. When you've never had contact with like people who are off their freaking rocker. I remember the first threat I got, the first death threat I got. I was kind of scared. Julian, I didn't know who it was. Yay, thank you. I wasn't sure. I get so confused when people come on here. I love you guys are having this conversation, and I love it. It makes me very, very happy when you guys are talking amongst yourselves about stuff. It's scary. I got the threat late at night, and the person knew a lot of things about me. I'm not going to go into it. And they threatened me directly. And I was a little scared. So when people get these things, it's kind of scary. It's, you can say like, oh, so what are the predictions on tomorrow's second debate? I have absolutely, I don't know if you're talking to me, Jeremy, but, Julian, getting my J's mixed up. But I have no clue. Trump is a pathological liar, and he can spew it out. So it's hard to debate somebody who just continuously lies about everything they say. And he's really pissed right now. He is really pissed because he's probably very, very scared. He's never been probably out of control in his life. And if he doesn't win, I truly believe that the district attorney of DC and the district attorney of Southern New York have papers ready and waiting to pounce, and probably a bunch of other places too. So yeah, he's completely full of shit. He's lost it. There's a lot of things coming in saying he's exponentially his rhetoric is really gone nuts lately. And that's saying a lot because it's already way or down. I don't know, up or down. These set the bar. Scary stuff. So apparently public information in certain states or all states of voting include people's, don't ask me why. So it must sound credible to people. Northern Florida police said via Facebook that they're aware of the emails and that are circulating and purported to be from the Proud Boys. I don't think they are. It sounds like they maybe aren't. The message appears to be a scam and will be there'll be an investigation initiated into the source of the emails, according to the FBI and state election officials. The Miami Herald reported that the University of Florida students also received these emails coming from info@officialproudboy.com. So I'm not sure. So we'll leave it up to them. For those of you who are not familiar with the Proud Boys, they are a white nationalist hate group. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, they are monitoring such hate groups, and they are known for their misogyny, Islamophobia, and general racial indignant white supremacist. I don't know how to put that. They're white supremacists, basically. They might say they're not, but I go by actions. Michelle, welcome. I'm happy you're here. Jump right in. Tell us what you think. Just talking about some of the things that are happening during early voting around. I heard somebody on progressive radio, Sirius progressive radio, say that, and I can't confirm this, but they said that people in their voting lines of early they were taking in white people and not letting black people in. And I was listening to Dean Abdallah, which is one of the guys that does show on there. And I was like, damn. But I mean, it was a caller in. So, I mean, I believe them. It's just, I don't have any confirmation of that. And yes, Kamala and Biden have been threatened with death. And I was going to bring that up at some point tonight. Yeah. The hateful people have been emboldened. They want their racism to stay. It's very important to them. So I will get back to comments in just a minute. I just want to get through this. So the Proud Boys have quite a reputation of being quite, haters. They're the group that made headlines, most recently at the last debate, when Trump refused to condemn them in the debate with Joe on September 29th. It seems like 10 years ago. Instead, he said, stand back and stand by, which is like some sort of strange code for he's going to give them a signal or something. I don't know. Similar email messages were received in states like Pennsylvania and Arizona, and in Florida, obviously, because this is about Florida. So there's a lot of BS going around. Another form of intimidation. This is kind of crazy. On Saturday, in voter suppression, the lines in some of the suburbs reached enormous lengths. And in Virginia, Fairfax County, there were some serious problems with people who were trying to vote and waiting in lines. And it was a pretty liberal area, supposedly left trending area. A suburb of Washington, D.C., the lines reached enormous lengths, with voters telling reporters that they basically were spurred to vote because of the passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But Trump supporters showed up to this early voting site, and photos were taken by the Washington Informer reporter, just a paper, showing Trump supporters blocking the path to early voting, standing together, waving Trump flags and chanting 4 more years, literally blocking, if you see the pictures, blocking the path. So this is just, this is just a beginning. So I'm not sure. Jeremy, why do I feel that America is slowly becoming a big natural selection experiment by Charles Darwin? I don't know. The invention of the traffic light really, that's cute, really destroyed it. Natural selection, because now there's a light telling you not to run in front of a car. And okay, I'm just saying I won't get into it, but I'll go back to some comments before I do the next section. Oh my goodness. You guys, I don't blame anybody for being just freaked out. This has been a shit show for 4 freaking years. And it didn't start, that wasn't the beginning of systemic racism. It started from the beginning of our country. So this is not good. I think we're really in trouble here. But with regards to Trump, I wanted to say one thing that was on my mind really fast. People want him to say, white supremacy is awful, and they're trying to get him to do that. And I think that's laughable. He's a white supremacist. Who would believe him? That'd be so disingenuous. I mean, he is a white supremacist. Why is he gonna, say, oh, I disavow it? No, he is one of them. He's the freaking de facto modern leader of the Ku Klux Klan in America and the world. He's not gonna disavowing would be a joke. It's the most insincere thing. So I don't want him to further lie. I want him to show his stuff and to show us a reflection of who we are. And then I want him to leave, because Okay, enough is enough. But I definitely, he is who we are. I'm sorry, not all of us, but enough of us. He's still there. Okay, now I will be quiet. Does anyone think the Electoral College is antiquated and needs to go? Okay, good conversation. Okay. I am just, a lot of the stuff's in just conversation. I want to kind of get through this. I appreciate all your comments. Let me see. The new America Civil War is coming with this president. Maybe. I don't know. That's Global Entertainment TV. I don't know. Just keep going. I think tomorrow's debate is going to be a totally insane shit show. I don't know how else to put it. The thing is, white supremacies are threatening civil war if Trump loses. I know they are. And it's really, really scary. That is not in our Constitution to do that. I don't know how to put it. Okay, Nails Glitter. Okay, I was referring to the convoluted laws about voting, specifically in the USA. More humans voted for Hillary in 2016. The Trumps are a minority here. Yeah, there's a lot going on, guys. Jay, I bet you, the Democratic governor, would be thrilled to have Trump gone, especially Michigan Governor Whitmer, who white supremacist was encouraged by Trump to go after her. Yeah, and they did it again with, lock her up. He's really, really sick doing that shit after what happened to her and the governor of Virginia, too. They were going after him, too. So this is like weird stuff, you guys. Let me see here. Oh, my gosh. Getting so many comments. Jeremy, well, hell, even our rights are being altered to the point almost anyone can be vulnerable. Look, I'm an absolute believer in Martin Niemöller when he said, and he's the German pastor that felt extremely guilty for doing absolutely, not enough when Germany was being taken, Nazi Germany was shaping, just like, so we can never ask like, oh, how did that happen? We know exactly how that happened because it is happening here in just the same way. It just, we're living it. So it's like, what? This is how it happens. They don't put up a poster and say, we're a dictatorship now. It slowly gets normalized over time. People stop using their critical thinking. People who have groups that follow them just don't feel the responsibility to speak out in favor of humanity, in favor of becoming more human, not less. So this is really scary. We just keep going here. I apologize. And I'm happy. There's a lot of conversations going on inside here that I'm trying to get to stuff on the topic just because I can only do one conversation at once. But I'll definitely read over this. Oh my gosh. So the next topic I wanted to say, and this isn't even a topic, I just wanted to tell you guys, I've been reading about, and this is kind of sad, if you're like a foodie type person, like you love to go out to dinner, so really rough stuff happening, and it's kind of boring, but maybe it'll impact you, I don't know, but I want to see what you think. The coronavirus pandemic is splitting the restaurant industry in two, and it's really ugly as it's splitting, keeping us further and further away from people who have bad health care and historically have been marginalized are dying more often. Our nation's going down, people, in all areas. Big places like, Domino's and big chain restaurants and, stores are doing very well. And the little guys getting busted. Larger operations generally have the advantage with the capital and they have more leverage on their leases and more physical space and flexibility. They already have drive-throughs set up. This uneven recovery is unfolding. And it's destroying mom and pop businesses. It's making people who, want to be, or entrepreneurs, it's destroying them. And, that special shop that you love to go grab a bite at or whatever, or get your food at, it just might not be there. We are capitalism, conglomerate corporations on steroids right now. And I don't know if it can be changed. It might be too late. It might be too late. So, but Citizens United, and oh my gosh, the fairness doctrine, we need those things. I'd like to know what you see happening in your area. Are things closing? Are they not closing? I see things at really low capacity. So I need to ask what you guys want to talk about. I have a bunch of topics, and you guys have been absolutely great and amazing. And let me see if I've missed anybody. Oh my gosh, you guys are having such good talking. Maybe I should be quiet and just read. Anyway, the other things that I'm actually going to do a video on this. It is all about voter suppression, what's going on here and now. Harper, no, I don't. I don't. You're so funny. Oh my God, I love you. I'm obsessed with this. I have not slept since he became, since maybe 2 years before he came into office. But yes, I definitely need sleep. Thank you. Oh my God, you're so sweet. My favorite restaurant closed for good a week ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. They decided to go retire because the virus rules mandated it too difficult to stay open. Yeah. Jeremy, let's talk about finding meaning and existence in the modern world. Oh my God, I love you. Yes, let's. I know people are fried. People are so done and over with all this stuff. If you are a person who happens to be living this as well and fighting this, I just bow down to you, because I don't know how you do it. I can't keep up, and I am not living this. I don't have to do this. I can leave anytime and pretend I don't even know what systemic racism is. And that is some serious privilege. So it's different for me. But you guys are absolutely adorable. I cannot thank you enough for just being here, caring, and talking about this stuff, and supporting my channel, whatever that means, watching videos. The next stuff I wanted to talk about, which I probably will just say goodnight to everybody, is how we're undermining the democracy with voter suppression, not just making it so Trump could win. It's really way more than that. And we're doing things that are insane. We're getting away with stuff like crazy. Some of this stuff, oh my God, I'm going to make a video on it. It might be kind of boring video, but I find it fascinating, the stuff that people are doing to stop people from voting. And they're not just trying to stop any people from voting. They're trying to stop Black people and brown people and Indigenous people and anyone non-white from voting. And that's how it's always been. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you so much for being here. Let me take a couple more comments, and then I will say good night to everybody. The Wild West never left. It would seem that way. Global Entertainment, Niels Glitters, do you want the Wild West again? No. Harper, if he gets 4 more years, I want to flee the country. But any country that lets Americans in, I wouldn't want to go to. Harper, all I can say is get your passports. There's a lot. Thank you, Kim. Be safe out there, everybody, and have a good. You too, Anton. Be safe. Honestly, please be very cognizant of where you're at during all this voting. We're in the voting era, and it's only going to get worse. Okay. Sorry, we were late, guys. Well, Oh, yeah. No, no, no. I'm Global Entertainment. I'm thrilled you guys were here. I missed you. I'm very thrilled, and I will be back next Wednesday. And I will be throwing out a few videos. If you believe, like I do, that it's way past time, white America takes takes some racial responsibility, not out of guilt, just because that's what humans do. We love and care for each other. Okay? No guilt. I think it's more important than ever now. So don't be a stranger. Please write me. Jamie, good night. Thank you so much. Good night, Global Entertainment. Good night, Nails and Glitter. Harper, you're amazing again. And Anton, good night. And Jeremy, good night. Michelle, good night. Thank you so much for being here. You're wonderful. And oh my gosh, I know I'm skipping people. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go back. Gary, I think Gary might have left. I'm not sure. Ramses, I hope you're still here. Thanks for being here. You guys are absolutely wonderful, and this is great conversation. Good night, Jeremy. I think I said that. I'm losing my mind. And I will hopefully see you guys next Wednesday, if not sooner, online. And if you believe, like I do, that it's way past time that we all start caring, please consider subscribing or getting your friends to subscribe. I have videos from beginner, like absolute beginner. I'm actually really nice. I explain things. I'm extremely just easygoing. And then I have rants that are terrifying and make you think, oh my God, that lady's a psycho. Really passionate rants that I do. So I'm just saying there's something for everybody. Some of my earlier stuff is a little more passionate, a little less controlled, shall I say. So definitely keep watching the videos and come to the show. And I thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just catch my very last comments here. Gary, sleep tight. Good night, and please be safe, guys. It's like you need me to tell you. Good night, Jeremy. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. This has been wonderful. See you soon, I hope.